Greetings YouTube! I'm about 10 minutes away from the final episode of Doctor Who for this Series 11 with Jodie Whittaker, and I have no idea what to expect, because the modern version of Doctor Who, the modern series, tend to build towards something at the end, and I haven't detected them doing that this time. I mean, they don't have to. This isn't unique to the modern series. The classic series of Doctor Who sometimes used to do this. Tom Baker had the Key to Time series and the E-Space trilogy. Who was it? Colin Baker had the Trial of a Time Lord series. So it's not unique to the modern series, but if they don't do it this time, I think it will be the first series of the modern run to not do it. And the episode is called The Battle of Something or Other. I'm not joking, I've literally written that in my notes. The Battle of Something or Other. I don't know how to pronounce it. This episode is a complete mystery to me and I don't know what to expect. I guess I'll find out in about an hour's time. And having seen that episode, I still can't pronounce the name of it. What he said. Something or other. And right at the beginning, we get earthbending. Effectively, earthbending. And what made me laugh about that was that the earthbending in this episode was more impressive than it was in the last Airbender film. Jesus, that was bad. 9 distress signals, but they're all clustered in the same place, so they don't have to move around a lot. Something or other means disintegrator of the soul. It's easier to say than the something or other. Actually, something or other is easier to say. And they have these things that make them immune to the planet's mind-bending stuff. I'm usually good at keeping up with sci-fi talk. It started to lose me a little bit at that point. I don't want to give anything away because spoilers, and I hate spoilers, but there is actually something that ties this episode back to some of the previous series. It's like a wafer thin connection. I don't know why I can't say wafer. I said it properly. But there's a wafer thin connection between the previous episodes, sort of, or some of them at the very least. And yeah, spoilers. And there's these super heavy somethings, and I quite like the way they're done. They're like a crystal thingamabob, and there's a black round thing, and it's sort of, I don't know if something's spinning around it or it's vibrating a lot. I don't think they're doing it with computer graphics though. I think they've done it with a model, and actually I'd be fascinated to know how they did that because it's not immediately apparent as to how that prop actually works. So I quite liked that effect. And another thing which made me laugh, the bad guy in this episode is basically doing the same as the captain from a classic episode of Doctor Who, The Pirate Planet. It's the first thing I thought of. When I realised what was going on, I thought, yeah, this is like The Pirate Planet. This is like the second episode in this series that I've thought, actually, this is like a classic episode. After the series that we've had, where we've had some decent, some good, and let's be honest, a couple of heavy episodes, each episode has felt very intimate. It's like it's focused on the characters and this one situation right here. And then I think someone in the writing division for the current series of Doctor Who suddenly realised that there were a lot of things missing and we better suddenly turn them all up to maximum, and that included the dial that said stakes, and suddenly the stakes are massive instead of them being like, like a little thing, little stakes, little boom, and it suddenly goes to maximum. And that was weird. It was weird. I feel like whoever is currently doing the writing, I forget their names, but whoever is currently doing the writing for Doctor Who, I really do feel like they suddenly realised they forgot to include a bunch of stuff and then suddenly threw them in on the last episode. It's taken until I think it was episode 7, was it? For me to feel like the Doctor had gotten something to do, as opposed to the ensemble having something to do. And yeah, this is another episode where she is again given the opportunity to stand out. I do feel like the writing team sort of started doing the ensembles, and then halfway through the series they started turning extra dials on. Now the last episode they've turned all of them on, and it was weird. This series has been weird. And I think it's simply down to the new writing team. I don't know if the new writing team has any previous credits on any other programs. I'm assuming they have, but yeah, it was weird. It was a weird feeling episode, was this? On the end, by the way, it was a perfectly fine episode on its own, but on the end of the series that we've had, it feels out of place. So yeah, this was a decent episode, and an unusual one to end this particular series on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a completely separate video and talk about the series as a whole, and sort of summarise the various things properly, I mean. But yeah. New Year's episode next to come, because we're not going to get a Christmas episode. Again, this was a weird episode. It was a weird ending for a series. Maybe that's just because we've gotten used to the series building towards some sort of climax recently. Because I felt like this series sort of tried to do that, but didn't do it particularly well. Which is fine, I don't need it to, but we've kind of gotten used to it. Okay, I'm going to talk more about that in the other video. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, and share all that jazz. See you next time.